Deacons. Our officials tonight, Ron Groover, AJ Desai, and James Breeding. And we are underway in Clemson, and the Tigers get first touch.
Wait comes out in man-to-man. They will give multiple looks in the game, but they start this game off in man-to-man.
And Clemson starts it off with burying a three. It's the junior Clyde Trapp. And what a boost Trapp has come in after missing a lot of this season with a torn ACL. He has come in. They've won 3 of their last 4. And when you ask the coaching staff, it's because he's given them that boost.
And I think that knee is starting to get stronger. Remember, he's still not at 100%. Talked to them after shoot-around today. Says he's around 80–85% trying to get full strength back in that right knee.
Childress had a step on Trapp, could not connect. You see Trapp still playing with that right brace. It was only 5.5 months ago that he tore that ACL. Clemson so happy to have him back, and the Tigers set up their second possession.
And Brad Brownell said, look, it's just amazing that he's back out on the court. You said it, that's less than 6 months, and he's out on the court playing, and certainly it is a big boost for this Clemson offense.
You talk about big boosts. How about Danny Manning's Wake Forest team coming off an 18-point win against Boston College on Sunday? Malcolm, you were there. How did the Demon Deacons keep it going?
Well, I think it starts with Brandon Childress. It starts with him, and then that guy that just took the 3, Olivier Sarr, his improved game. He dominated the paint. I think they need to get the ball inside the paint on almost every possession. Go inside and then outside.
Clemson going inside, quickly outside. The 3 doesn't drop, though. In transition, pull-up 3, and he buries it. Brandon Childress from deep.
He is just playing outstanding ball for Wake Forest. He is the one that makes them go on offense. He has that ability to knock down shots from all over the court.
A deep 3 to answer. This one clings off the rim, but Amir Sims, he's not shy from deep. Yes, he plays the 5, but he shoots it better than 40% from deep. Childress breaking down the defense. Open 3. It's good. This time, Andrian White knocks it down.
You cannot ask for a better play. Brandon Childress break down the defense, draw 2 defenders, and then kick it out to a wide open 3-point shooter. That's beautiful, unselfish basketball by Brandon Childress.
The 3s have been flying tonight, and they've been dropping. That one belongs to the sophomore Hunter Tyson. Both teams with 2 triples. Childress, he's been the go-to guy tonight and all season for the Demon Deacons. Passing off White again. This time can't hit it.
And that's a nice block out by Sims. We talked about keeping Olivier Sarr off the offensive glass. Excellent block out that time by Amir Sims.
Curran Scott, a lot of contact. Nothing called, and he drains the jumper.
Let's see if Wake Forest tries to get Sarr posted up in the paint.
With 5 on the timer, Torrey Johnson pull-up pop, no good, and a foul on the rebound. Clemson up early, 8-6. We've got a good story coming up for you. How did Clemson land?
Unbelievable. And Amir Sims, we talked to him about that, and he said, look, I still laugh at all those texts that I got from Coach Bender. It was something that was special and unique, and it was a big reason why he came here. And his work ethic, the coaches rave about it, that 24/7 mentality. You can see the improvement in his games, and he turned himself into one of the better players in the ACC.
You hit on it, Malcolm. It's not just talk. He came to campus, and he is 24/7 basketball. That's why he's one of the better big men in the country and in the conference. 10 seconds to shoot. Clemson up 2. Both teams have relied heavily on the 3-ball. That time a jumper inside doesn't fall. This is Torrey Johnson for Wake Forest. Trying to get some room to operate, wasn't there. White leans into it, draws the foul. Count the bucket as well. Andrian White got his man Tevin Mack hung up in the air and was able to capitalize.
When we spoke with Coach Brad Brownell at shoot-around this morning, he was concerned about this right here. Wake Forest getting to the free throw line. That's a beautiful head fake and one opportunity. Right now, Jay, Wake Forest leads the ACC with close to 25 free throw attempts per game. And that was a concern number one for Brad Brownell. He said, look, we have to keep them off the free throw line. Now Wake Forest shows a little three-quarter court pressure and back to a 3-2 matchup zone.
Doesn't matter, a 3 buried. Alamir Dawes, the freshman sharpshooter. Catch and release, and Clemson already has 3 threes early in this game.
And now Clemson showing a little matchup zone.
Perfect position for the follow finish. Olivier Sarr ties it at 11.
Well, I talked about it at the top. That is going to be a key theme for them. They must keep Olivier Sarr off the offensive glass. He does a nice job of crashing the glass on every shot that goes up for Wake.
Tevin Mack, off balance shot, but it drops. Tevin Mack, acrobatic. And these two teams trading punches early. Sarr posting up. They feed it to the big fella. Pull-up jumper. Clangs in.
Well, that's the matchup that I think Wake Forest wants. Try to get Olivier Sarr on that block. Let him face and then make a play. Force Clemson to either double, or if he stays man-to-man, if they stay man-to-man with him, I think Wake Forest will like to continue to go at that matchup.
Sarr with a mismatch double team comes, powers through it. It'll head to the foul line. Well, they are listening to you, Malcolm. They are feeding Olivier Sarr early and often.
Well, this right here starts off on this end. Mack with the beautiful move. Not bad D. That's just a tough runner. And then this right here, one of the most improved players in the ACC. That is just a tough face-up. And speaking with Danny Manning, he said, look, that's where he's more comfortable facing the basket.
ACC Network College basketball continues Sunday at noon. We'll have this Wake Forest team hosting the defending national champions, Virginia Cavaliers. Virginia chasing a win against Wake Forest. It's noon right here on the ACC Network. Olivier Sarr is out-rebounding Clemson himself right now. 4 rebounds and just the Tigers 3. He is picked up right where he left off in that win against Boston College, where he had 14 points and 13 rebounds.
Yeah, he's a handful. Again, he does a nice job crashing the glass. I think if you're Clemson, you just have to put somebody almost like a spy on the QB. Anytime a shot goes up, don't worry about the ball watching. Just turn, try to block him out, keep him off the glass.
Checks out of the game right now for Odi Oguama. He's a freshman who's coming off a 16-point, 10-rebound performance, his first ever double-double. In the previous 9 games, he had only 15 points combined, and he had 16 Sunday against Wake. Tried to feed him there, but it was knocked out of bounds.
And both teams giving multiple looks on D. Clemson started off with man, then they've gone to some matchup zone. Again, both teams trying to give multiple looks on defense, trying to slow and get teams in deep into the shot clock.
What would you play against Wake?
Well, right now, with Sarr out, you can play man-to-man.
Contested 3 from the corner, far too much on it. There's the freshman. Oguama gives a second chance to Wake Forest, but they can't convert. Danny Manning said you might even see those two big men playing together as Oguama called for the foul there. But right now it's Oguama in and Sarr out.
Foul is called on 33. Oguama. That's his first.
The freshman's first personal. When you think about that, you're having not the freshman year you expected, doing a lot of things well, but then 16 points when you've only got 15 in the previous 9 as he sends John Newman to the line.
And I think consistency. You know, one of the things we've talked about with both of these teams is the consistency. You look at Newman, though, the numbers we just saw him in his last 3 games, he's been playing really well for Clemson. And, you know, I like his energy and his ability to attack the basket. That's one of the things that Brad Brownell really has been pleased with him.
He most missed both foul shots, though, and Clemson fans won't like that. They shot 9 of 23 from the foul line in the loss to NC State. Got a turnover there, though. Hunter Tyson steps into it and buries it. We're tied at 15.
And that is all set up by Trey Jemison with a nice screen out of the zone. A lot of times attacking the zone, you can bring a big up to set a screen, ball screen, almost like you're in a man-to-man set. That's great offensive execution by Clemson.
Bounced around. It's 4-on-1 inside of the freshman. Oguama rips it away. He has been aggressive early. We're tied at 15, just getting started here on the ACC. Points a game, and more than that, he just really, everything in the offense runs through 0. Five seconds to shoot. Wake Forest has to hurry. They recognize it. A heave off the backboard and in. Ismail Massoud, as the buzzer sounded, getting a lucky bounce there, and Wake Forest up 3.
Well, it's a good thing they saw, because I'm not sure anybody else recognized that the shot clock was winding down, and certainly that's a big break for Wake.
Perfect position for the follow finish. Kayvon Moore. If you're Clemson, you played great defense, and then they get rewarded with a banked-in 3. Take another look at this.
Well, we could hear the Wake bench yelling, shot clock winding down, shoot it, and a heads-up play and a big bucket with the shot clock winding down. Certainly, it's a pleasant sight for Wake. I think a couple of reasons. Number one, they're seeing some success early on. They're getting off to a fast start, but I think the other number, turnovers, that has not been a problem to start this game off.
Olivier Sarr back into the game. He has 6 points for Wake Forest. They're shooting 5 of 10, 50% from the floor when he's on it. Again, shot clock winding down. Childress dumps it off, and that time it's a shot clock violation and a turnover.
Well, Clemson's doing a good job forcing them, Wake, into deep shot clock possessions, meaning they're taking a lot of time to get into their offense. And then the end result, they're getting shots with under 5 seconds to go. So Clemson, credit them for their D.
Tevin Mack, quick trigger, can't connect. And a foul called on the rebound.
Foul is called on Kayvon Moore. That's his first 16 foul.
Well, Jay, if you're Wake, though, you have to get into your offense quicker. Well, that's now 2 possessions where you've been deep into the shot clock.
Inside to Sarr. Maybe he'll jumpstart this offense. Turns and faces the basket. What a matchup this is. Sarr on Sims and Olivier Sarr. Great bucket there over great defense from Amir Sims.
Well, what great footwork. Not bad defense by Sims, but Sarr with the clear length advantage took his time, and that's a tough turnaround jumper.
Hunter looking for the immediate answer. Can't find one. Inside to Sarr. Back out to Childress. Those two playing a little back and forth. Tough shot, hanging and making. Adrian White. And Wake Forest's largest lead of the game so far at 5.
Well, what they're doing right now, Jay, they're running their offense through Olivier Sarr and then playing from him inside out, and guys are getting some high percentage shots.
Hey, earlier in the game, some guy sounded like you said that was the key to get the win tonight.
Make it easy for yourself. Give the big fella some touches and make the defense collapse.
Mack fires a 3. Rattles in and out. Did not drop for Tevin Mack. Cross floor pass leads to a 3, and it's buried again. Isaiah Mucius. And Wake Forest starting to roll offensively. It's a 7-0 run for the Demon Deacons. Inside feed to Mack, and he's fouled. And he'll head to the foul line when we come back.
Well, right now, Olivier Sarr showing off the whole game right here with the tough turnaround jumper. Wake Forest 4.
Tevin Mack steps to the line. This is his 3rd college basketball team. Career started in Texas before transferring to Alabama and now finishing here in Clemson.
Well, the free throw shooting woes really are showing again for Clemson, and I don't care if you're at home or you're on the road, it's very difficult to win games when you're below 40% from the free throw line, in particular when you get to the line over 20 times, as Clemson has.
0 for 4 tonight, but in the loss to NC State, they were 9 of 23 from the line. How about the hot hand? Olivier Sarr getting everything he wants right now, and the Wake lead is 10. Now, Clemson has certainly come back to earth after wins against NC State, UNC, and Duke, all in a 10-day stretch, looking for something to jolt this team, but another 3 goes begging.
And nobody on the offensive glass for Clemson. Not a bad look by Sims.
And when you beat UNC, which you haven't done in so long, and then Duke in a 4-day stretch, you feel invincible, and then the ACC will wake you up real quick. Wake Forest with a 10-point lead on the road and looking for more. 5 to shoot. Brandon Childress, pull up, pop. Falls off the rim this time, but a great job by Sarr for a second chance. A give and go, poked away. Up ahead, Amir Sims taking 2 men on, and he lost the ball.
Well, we talked about Wake Forest running their offense through Olivier Sarr. That's his beautiful pick and roll basketball. Brandon Childress again finding Sarr for a wide open look from the free throw line. And right now, early on in this game, they're just executing Wake Forest.
Much needed bucket, and it comes from Hunter Tyson. That's the first points for Clemson in more than 4 minutes. Kick to the corner again. Sarr got a piece of that one. Danny Manning screaming that he was fouled. It's a 5-on-4 as Sarr runs back. It settles back into the defense.
Yeah, it looked like he got a hip check that time going up for the offensive rebound.
John Newman. Over to Hunter Tyson. Can't knock down that 3. And a foul called on Clemson underneath. Amir Sims called for the foul. That's his second personal.
Foul is called. His second.
Well, Jay, Clemson is getting some high-quality looks as you take a look at the foul on Sims, who's out of the game, and he's got 0 points. Credit Sarr for the defense on him, but back to the Clemson offense. They're getting open looks. They're getting some open threes. That time, Newman with a nice kick out to a wide open three-point shooter, but they're just not knocking those down. And then on the other end, Wake Forest is knocking down shots off of some really good execution.
Busey has missed the front end of the 1-and-1. How would you wake this Tigers offense up? I guess you just said it's as simple as making shots. That'll do it. Alamir Dawes, the freshman, steps up and knocks it down. Inside to Sarr. Knocked around. Johnson keeps it alive. White, tough take, and it drops. Dawes lost the handle. Childress has it for Wake Forest, trying to build on this 8-point lead. Pull up pop. Johnson drills it.
Well, it's clear what Wake is doing on defense. They are just collapsing 4 or 5 guys into the lane, and then they are getting stops and picking Clemson apart on offense.
Brad Brownell not happy. He takes a timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Pinned down to this first half, a 31-21 advantage. Coming out of the timeout called by Brad Brownell. See what the Tigers have offensively.
Right now, Wake Forest in the 3-2 matchup zone, and they're doing a good job keeping Clemson out of the paint.
Newman chucks the three, hits it. Much needed triple from the sophomore John Newman. Freshman stays that way. Odi Oguama, after a career-high 16 points, gets his first bucket of the night.
When I asked Danny Manning to describe his game, he said one word: energy. He said, we just love the energy and effort that he plays with. And it's clear he is playing really well for them the last 2-3 games.
That time, getting picked on, Trey Jemison took it right to the freshman for 2. We noticed that there was a boost in his step, a little confidence burst to the shoot-around today. Oguama after that big night Sunday against BC. A 3 on its way off the mark. Wake keeps pushing it in transition, and why not? It's paid off. Torrey Johnson up and under, and the lead is now 9 for the Demon Deacons with under 3 minutes until halftime. Contested shot doesn't go. Offensive rebound. Jamison keeps it alive. Curran Scott drives into traffic. Get that out of here, says Odi Oguama. Transition 3, Childress, air ball. Foul called on Torrey Johnson. 2 minutes left of this first half. Transition, the name of the game for Wake Forest. Demon Deacons rolling, leading by 9. Alongside Malcolm Huckabee, I'm Jay Alter. Wake Forest with a 9-point lead, and you're looking at a freshman in Odi Oguama, who is brimming with confidence, getting it done on both ends of the floor, the block and then the finish of the rim. And he's got plenty of confidence for good reason. Had 16 points, 10 rebounds in the win against BC on Sunday. He only had 15 points in the previous 9 games combined. And he breaks out for 16, and you can see he's playing with that confidence tonight.
And sometimes a game like that just boosts your confidence and then gets you feeling more comfortable on the court. You can clearly see he is much more comfortable. And I think the other big thing, he's giving them some offensive production. Wake Forest in ACC play only has 2 players that average double digits.
Clemson out of sorts offensively. Another shot clock violation. That's their second. What is Wake Forest doing defensively to just throw them out of rhythm?
The 3-2 matchup zone really has kept them out of the paint, and all Clemson's points really have been beyond the arc. They've been shooting a lot of perimeter jump shots.
Up ahead, Tyson rocks the rim. Maybe that'll bolster this Clemson offense. Hunter Tyson.
Well, that definitely was not from beyond the arc. My goodness.
Looking for some juice offensively. That might provide it. Childress hanging in the air. Another air ball. Clemson trying to ride some momentum into halftime. Still trailing by 7.
Well, this right here, Hunter Tyson with the finish off of the Wake turnover, and that's great defense. That's a big bucket for your team that was struggling in this last 5-minute stretch.
And the half-court offense is still struggling. But if you can get out in transition and throw one down like that, that'll be good for you. Trying to get something going, they do. Clyde Trapp knocks it down, and just like that, the deficit is only 5. Danny Manning uses his first timeout. ACC women's basketball continues. Doubleheader Thursday. First Miami against Clemson, and then the nightcap 8 Eastern time. Duke taking on Syracuse in the Carrier Dome. Both games right here on the ACC network and the ESPN app.
Well, if you're Danny Manning, I think the first and foremost, you really have controlled this game. You still have a 5-point lead, but I think the one thing you have to be careful about anytime you're talking about Wake, it's been the turnovers. You can't not have turnovers that lead to transition buckets for Clemson. So I'd have to think if they have Olivier Sarr back into the game, run your offense through him, either a high screen and roll with Childress and then roll him hard to the basket, but certainly you want Olivier Sarr to touch the ball on this next possession.
Brad Brownell going full court pressure for Wake Forest against Wake Forest. First time they've done this tonight.
And I like this changeup, trying to get Wake Forest to waste a little time and then get either a turnover, almost turnover, but refs called a foul.
What do you think about this one?
Right here, yeah, no, he bumped him. Yeah. I mean, look, that's a good call. Again, he got some ball, but certainly a lot of the body to knock him over, and you like the aggression. But that's clearly a foul right there with the body.
So a 1-and-1 now coming for Andrew White.
At the line shooting 1-and-1. Back into the game.
Amir Sims checks back into the game for Clemson. Leading scorer for the Tigers this season. No points in this first half. And 2 fouls. Front end of the 1-and-1 converted.
I talked about Wake. They lead the ACC with close to 25 free throw attempts per game. They also shoot it at a high clip as a team, over 70. Brad Brownell talked to us about that in shoot-around. Said, look, we have to keep them off of their season average of 25 free throw attempts.
4-second separation between that shot clock and the end of this first half clock. Lost the ball there, has to cross the line, just barely does. And a foul called. They only have 3 team fouls now, 4. So you have a foul to give there.
4th team foul.
Let's see if Wake stays in man-to-man. That 3-2 matchup zone has been pretty effective.
Yeah, they stay in man. They do have another foul to give here. Trap straight to the rim with 5.3 remaining in this first half, and he'll get 2 from the line. This is where Clemson has struggled. If you're a Tigers fan, you almost don't want to see them at the foul line. After a dismal 9 of 23 against NC State in the loss, they're now 0 of 4 from the foul line tonight. In for Trapp, and that'll do wonders for him, coming in just shooting 40% from the foul line this season.
And back to the story we talked about, coming off that ACL tear and him coming back in under 6 months. He's still not at 100%, but his ball handling and also leadership out there is so important.
3 seconds left in the half. Up to Childress at the buzzer. No good, and Wake Forest takes a 6-point lead into halftime. Both teams 9 and 8 overall. Wake Forest 2 and 5 at ACC. Clemson 3 and 4. But in the ACC, a couple of wins, and you can go from the bottom to the top real quick.
Yeah, important game for both teams in the standings, and certainly for Wake Forest trying to put together a win streak.
Inside to the freshman. Okwama coming off that career night. A little inside out like Malcolm Huckabee's been talking all night long. And they pick up right where they left off in this second half.
And Danny Manning talked about that. He said, look, we must get the ball into the paint off the pass or off the bounce. And that's something that Wake Forest did a nice job in the first half, playing through Sarr or with dribble drives.
Looking for more on the dunk, had to adjust with the same result. 2 points for Hunter Tyson. Now 11 points. He's doubled up his season average. Immediate answer underneath. Olivier Sarr with the flush.
What a beautiful pass. No look. Not sure how Sarr got that wide open, but Brandon Hunter, what a beautiful pass.
Right back to Tyson. Going punch for punch, Hunter Tyson. Who would have thought the sophomore at 6'8" would be going up against a 7-footer inside, but right now he's got the hot hand.
And he's shown some nice bounce. We already saw the dunk in transition, and that previous play took contact, hung in the air, and then was able to finish.
Curran Scott poked it away. Transition 3. No good. Danny Manning having both big men on the floor right now. Odi Okwama, the freshman, and Olivier Sarr. That's a matchup nightmare. Sarr for 3. Off the rim. Curran Scott steps into it and knocks it down. The Tulsa grad transfer pulls Clemson within 4. Andrew White contested 3, goes begging. But it'll stay Wake Forest basketball.
Well, Hunter Tyson showing off great body control. That's a big-time move. Took some contact, was able to hang and finish. And then right here, Brandon Childress with the beautiful dime. Sarr wide open underneath the basket. All he had to do was catch, go up, and dunk.
Childress, step back J. It's good. Brandon Childress, the Wake Forest leading scorer, showing why.
I like his pace, and then also understanding when to get your team a bucket and then when to find your teammates. Not an easy balance, but he has figured that out in the last 3 or 4 games, playing well for Wake Forest.
Newman decides to drive instead of take the three. He can still get 3 the old-fashioned way. Count the bucket plus the foul.
Wow, what an explosive move. Basically jumped over Sarr trying to take a charge, and that's a good call by the ref. Sarr clearly not set in that restricted area, and Newman showing off some hops and body control. That's a difficult finish.
Children so electric on the dribble, draws a foul there. He's tough to stay in front of.
He is, and when he gets into the paint, he's drawing 2 or 3 defenders, and he's doing a nice job finding guys for some open looks, either under the basket or out on the perimeter.
Clemson looking to make it a 1-possession game since early in this game. Wake Forest has led by as much as double digits in this game. Newman, pull up, pop, rolls in and out. To Sarr working on Sims, and he continues to dominate that matchup.
That's where he needs to be, down low on the block and then let him face up. He's not a traditional big that's going to back you down. He wants to face you up and then raise up for his jumpers.
Sarr with 14, Sims still stuck on 0, and he is red hot. You can't stop him, Olivier Sarr. Back-to-back baskets, now up to 16 points for the junior.
That's just tough to stop right there with a clear length advantage, and they are doing a nice job, Wake, finding him in the block.
Amir Sims still looking for his first basket of the game. Do you feel he's starting to force it?
Well, I think give credit to Sarr. He's done a nice job keeping him off the glass and then using his length to bother him on shots.
Newman swats that 3 away. But Wake Forest has come out and continued to command this game for Olivier Sarr.
We have official time.
Getting the Sarr has dominated that matchup, and Wake, credit them. They've done a nice job finding him down low in the block. I think the other key thing for Wake, they only have 6 turnovers in this game. They've done a nice job taking care of the ball.
Right back into Sarr. Lefty hook, bounces out. Transition 3 wide open. Tevin Mack will make you pay. And there was a foul off the ball as well. The 3 will count. And a foul against Wake Forest as well. Against Olivier Sarr. That's his 3rd. Take a look at this.
So it looks like they're going to call a foul on Sarr, so they're going to count to 3.
Yep.
And then it looks like Clemson is also going to get the ball, too. So that's a big change of events. You couldn't tell from our vantage point. It looked like they were tangled up, and that is huge for a couple of reasons. Obviously, Clemson having the ball, but then the 3rd foul on Olivier Sarr, and that is huge. Mark that down right there. 14:51 in this game, and Olivier Sarr goes to the bench with 3 fouls, and his team up 6.
Newman on the drive, just lost the handle, bounced out. Sims a 3. It's good. Amir Sims cuts the lead in half. A 6-point possession, if you will, for Clemson. Masood on the drive, blocked. Trap, great hesitation, but he left it short. Second effort, and it's Amir Sims again. After being shut out all night, Amir Sims back-to-back baskets.
And as soon as Olivier Sarr went to the bench, I think his eyes lit up.
To quiet this crowd down, no good. Three on two. Blocked again. And a foul called. Clemson basketball, and this crowd is alive.
The energy definitely has picked up. Amir Sims with the three off of excellent ball movement, and then right here on the offensive glass, that's just a grown man move and putback. And I said mark the time, 14:51. Olivier Sarr went to the bench. His team was up 6. All right, now with him out, his team now is only up 1, and Clemson on a run.
Tevin Mack 3 was ruled a 2, so it's just a 7-0 run for Clemson, but they pulled within 1. This 3 for the lead, no good. But yes, a 7-0 run since Sarr's been pulled from this game. Wake Forest just trying to get some momentum because it is all Clemson right now. Tough shot and a foul call. It sends Adrian White to the line.
Well, I've liked Adrian White's aggressiveness in this game. He's made some nice plays, and certainly with Brandon Childress and also Sarr on the bench, they are going to need somebody to step up and make a play on offense.
What do Jay Billis, LaFonso Ellis, Seth Greenberg have in common? They're all bald, and they're coming to a campus near you. ACC Network's Bald Men on Campus Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Tell you about the weekend slate to come.
I see you looking at me kind of funny there, man. I mean, I know I'm bald. I know you guys. I can't stand some of you guys with all that hair, full head of hair. All right, but we are smart. We are attractive as well, too, okay?
I never said any of that. You're putting words in my mouth.
I could read right through your mind.
Wake Forest has missed their last 5 straight shots, but they still lead by 3. Foul off the ball, called on Kayvon Moore.
Foul is called on Kayvon Moore. That's his third team
Brandon
foul.
Childress checks back into this game. That'll leave some of the pressure on Adrian White that you were just referring to, Malcolm. White takes a 3, can't hit it.
You can't ask for a better look. A nice little flare screen. White got a pretty clean look.
Here's Tevin Mack, a deep 3. It's good! Off the bank and in, and we're tied at 49. Masood, risky pass. Wake Forest keeps it alive and converts for 2. Off the window and in for the freshman, Jacoby Neath.
Well, Wake right now has switched to a 3-2 matchup zone. Let's see how Clemson chooses to attack. I think they got to get the ball to the high post or short corner area.
The hot hand. Can't stay that way. Tevin Mack has shot Clemson back into this game, only trailing by 2. Childress went into traffic. A breakaway for Clemson, up to Newman. Tied at 51. Miscommunication, wide open 3, and Andrew and White will make you pay every time.
Well, Brandon Childress, again, great floor recognition. A breakdown in communication. Not sure how White got so wide open, but easy pass and catch and shoot for White.
Way off the mark on the answer. A season high for Andrew White. He's got Wake Forest up 3, but here comes Clemson. Pulled back within 3 midway through this second half. And guess who's awake? The leading scorer, Amir Sims, after Olivier Sarr gets called for a foul. There it is. That's his 3rd. He goes out of the game. It took 25 minutes and 30 seconds, but finally the first made basket, and now he's on a roll.
Yeah, 14:51 was the key moment. That's when Sarr went out of the game. Immediately, Sims goes to work, the 3, and then off the offensive rebound and put back. I think the question now becomes, how long does Danny Manning keep Olivier Sarr on the bench? Certainly, you don't want this to go too much longer with him on the bench, and see if Clemson can pull out in front.
We're waiting to resume because Tevin Mack, as you see, Sarr commits the foul. This is the same play. Was this a 2 or a 3? It was called a 2 on the floor. And the officials have just come over and said they're going to stick with the 2. Could not get an angle that shows that it was 100% a 3. And because it was ruled a 2, you need that inconclusive evidence.
Yeah, and he said, look, we looked at multiple angles. We had 7 different angles that we looked at, and there was nothing they saw that warranted them overturning that. So now play on. And you know, a good thing I think about that is they did not take a lot of time, extended time, delaying the game to make that decision.
Well, you asked the question, Malcolm, how long does Danny Manning wait to put Olivier Sarr back in the game? He stays on the bench here.
Right now, I expect Wake to try to put Brandon Childress or Johnson in a pick-and-roll situation and then let them go make a play.
Jacoby Neath, the freshman, trying to make a play, and a foul called on the floor first.
Foul is called on John Newman.
Foul called against John Newman. That's his 2nd personal. On the floor, though. Shot clock resets to 20.
And that's a breakdown right there. You had him deep in the shot clock. You don't want to bail him out with a foul.
Neath again in traffic. This time has a step and uses it for 2.
That's a tough move. Clemson did a nice job getting them deep in the shot clock again, but that's just great use of a strong body and finish with the left.
Amir Sims passes off the 3. Clyde Trapp steps into it, can't connect. Make a couple men miss. Dumps off to fellow freshman. A lot of contact, nothing called. Oguama didn't get a clean look there. And Sims is fouled on the other end.
Foul is called on Brandon Chilvers.
Well, this is what Wake needs to continue to do. Don't settle for jumpers. That's just a strong move by Neath. And then Clemson on the other side, you don't want to settle for jumpers. In particular with Sarr on the bench, I think you have to get everything going to the basket. Now, if the three comes off a penetrating kick, that's fine. But more of that right there, right on point. I'm sounding pretty smart right here. But with Sarr on the bench, again, there's no need for you to try to attempt contested threes.
John Newman up to 9 points, right on cue there for Malcolm Huckabee. That time a foul called. It was Torrey Johnson cutting to the basket before he was tripped up.
Foul is called on Clyde Track. That's his second.
And right here, off the inbounds, a nice play and body control by Newman. Again, don't settle. Try to get the ball in the paint area. But right now, Danny Manning has seen enough, and he has Olivier Sarr back into this game with 3 fouls.
16 points on 7 of 10 shooting. Sat for 6 minutes before coming back into this game. Sets the screen. Tried to get it to him, and a miscommunication was kind of in between Massoud and Sarr. No man's land and a turnover.
Yeah, that one right there, he'd like to have back. Massoud was in the wrong position. Right idea, he was open. He just went the wrong way. Right now, Danny Manning's telling him you got to get more and give your passer a better angle to find you. Yeah, right there again. He's open. But he kept coming over, and I think the only good thing about that turnover right there, obviously you don't want one, but it did not allow Clemson to get out in transition. So now you get a chance to get your defense set, and they stay in the 3-2 matchup zone.
Do you take it right to Sarr here to try and pick up a 4th foul?
Well, that's the reason why, though. I think they're in the zone. Try to protect Sarr.
Underneath, Sarr tried to get a piece of it, could not. Hunter Tyson, more than double his season average now with 13 points. Sarr fouled hard. He'll head to the foul line. But this Wake Forest lead has evaporated.
Phenomenal job, as you said, what he's done with this Florida State program.
ACC Network College basketball coverage continues Sunday at noon with this Wake Forest team. They take on Virginia, and we just showed you on that last graphic 6 losses. That's as much as Tony Bennett has had in the last 2 seasons. Olivier Sarr here had 2 free throws, did not come up with either one of them. This is what's so great about the ACC this season. A team like Wake Forest a week ago, 1-5, bottom of the league. Well, guess what? You win against BC. Now an opportunity to close out a road win. Boom, you're right to the middle, trending to the top.
Yeah, really, and I think how they're doing it, they're being better with the ball. Only 8 turnovers in this game, and then Olivier Sarr, I think they found a go-to guy when you need a bucket.
5 to shoot. Inside to Sarr, working on Sims, turns, faces, can't get it. A 3, Hunter Tyson off the mark. And a foul underneath, so it'll stay with the Tigers. The last Clemson lead was 13-11 in the first half. So Wake Forest, they have dominated this game, but the Tigers have fought back. Brad Brownell now trying to close this game out. What do you want to see from them more offensively?
Well, I think with Clemson, you got to figure a way to get the ball into the paint against this 3-2 zone, and then obviously don't turn it over. But I think another number we got to talk about, free throws. Clemson's 1 of 7 from the free throw line in this game, and we talked about it in the tip. Their free throw woes continue to potentially haunt them and cost them games.
Torrey Johnson, kick out 3, White, no good. Who is going to step up and win this crucial ACC game? Maybe it's Hunter Tyson having a career night, and it continues. The first lead since the first half for the Tigers.
And Sarr, smartly, though, did not pick up a foul in that situation.
Trying to quiet this home crowd. That won't do it. No good. Amir Sims, Clemson's typical leading scorer, just not in a rhythm right now. Hunter Tyson, the only Clemson player in double figures. Another three goes begging for Wake Forest.
And Wake right now has 0 points in the last 4 minutes. Really struggling on offense.
Scott a three. It's good. Timeout, Danny Manning. A 9-0 Tigers run, trying to close this one out, coming from behind.
Has taken the lead with 2 unlikely heroes in this one. Right there, Hunter Tyson on the offensive glass, and then a huge three by Curran Scott. These two guys have combined for 22 points in this game, and it is a big reason why Clemson has the 4-point lead. And that is just amazing right there. You look at the numbers coming in for the season for Hunter Tyson, a little under 6. Tonight, he's got 17 points.
Wake Forest led for much of this game, now find themselves trailing by 4. Leading scorer Olivier Sarr has not scored for 10 minutes. Childress, a three. No good, but a foul called. Curran Scott called for the foul, and that'll be 3 free throws coming for Brandon Childress.
Just when we were praising him on his play, that's the last thing you want to do is foul a 3-point shooter. Let's see if he got him on the arm.
Tough to tell.
Yeah, tough to tell from that angle right there. I think Brandon Childress definitely sold that one well, but you couldn't tell whether or not he got him from that angle.
Childress makes the first 2. He's got a third coming. We remind you, ACC women's basketball doubleheader starts 6 Eastern time on Thursday. Miami taking on Clemson, and then the nightcap up at the Carrier Dome, Syracuse against Duke. So instead of a missed shot, Brandon Childress gets 3 free throws to pull Wake Forest back within 1. What is going to separate these two teams in the final 4 minutes?
Well, I think a couple things. Free throws, we talked about it. Brandon Childress steps up, hits 3 big free throws, and then attacking this 3-2 zone. Clemson versus Wake. Let's see how they attack it. Do not want to settle for contested threes.
There's a contested 3, and it's good! Hunter Tyson ties a career high with that big-time triple.
What do I know? Instead of trying to work the ball around, that is a deep contested 3 by Hunter Tyson.
Childress answers, but that's a 2.
Brandon Childress.
Boy, we're in for a fun finish. These two teams going punch for punch on a Tuesday night at the ACC. Trap leaning into it, the foul, plus the basket.
Clyde Trapp with the and one possibility, and right now Clemson still on top.
ACC Network Basketball is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Malcolm Huckabee, Jay Alter with you down the stretch. These two teams come. Clemson leading by 4. Tigers up 65-61. 3:07 to go. Clyde Trapp, the junior, with a big-time bucket, gets the foul, count the basket. He goes to the line to try and complete a three-point play. When we talked to the Clemson coaching staff, we said, when you were riding that wave, 3 big wins in a 10-day period, NC State, UNC, Duke, why? They said, might not show up in the box score, but the return of Clyde Trapp, only 5 points per game, yes, but he was not supposed to be playing in those games. He tore his ACL on June 28th, surgery July 14th. They did not expect him back, so he has been a big-time boost in ACC play because they said he makes game-winning plays, and that last bucket, a great example of it.
Yeah, and you can tell he's starting to get more strength in that knee, and Coach Brad Brownell talks about how amazing it has been to see him come back so fast from the ACL. I think the other key number for him, he's only had 1 turnover in this game, so he is playing a complete floor game for Clemson.
And a huge offensive rebound. And a timeout taken by Clemson. Talking things over with 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
Tigers call 30-second timeout.
Brad Brownell in year number 10 with Clemson. Tigers still with 2 timeouts remaining after he took that one. Before the game, we have to mention this. We just said year number 10 with Clemson. He is now the all-time wins leader. He was honored before the game, and how about that? A memorable win, yes, but it was against Duke. He'll remember that one forever. A 79-72 win to make history here at Clemson.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, it's hard to believe he's been here that long, but I think the consistency, he's got this thing going back in the right direction, and again, with the chance to make some noise this year in the ACC. Obviously, they have to close this one out, but certainly a phenomenal job by him, and the wins have shown up.
7 seconds, what do you do here?
Right now, I put Clyde Trapp in a screen and roll situation and then let him go make a play.
Curran Scott has to hurry. 2 on the timer, and fouled with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Foul is called on Olivier Sarr.
And it's Olivier Sarr. That's his 4th foul.
16 foul.
So 1 more, and Sarr, the leading scorer for the Deacons, will be out of this game, although he hasn't scored since the 15-minute mark of the second half.
Yeah, and that one he'd like to have back deep in the shot clock. That's just a mental breakdown.
Here's Hunter Tyson, has a career high tonight. Off the mark, Sarr pulls it down. Only a 4-point deficit here for the Demon Deacons. Johnson, a 3, rolls in and out.
Well, not a bad look. I just don't like that Sarr did not touch the ball or Childress on that possession.
Amir Sims charges the call. Torrey Johnson had 5-inch disadvantage on Sims, but draws the charge.
Yeah, you can't play it any better. He set him up, great footwork, and then he baited him into taking that charge. That's just a great individual defensive play, and certainly a much-needed one. Right now, though, they have to, I believe, get Childress or Sarr a touch.
Only 1 made field goal in 7 minutes for Wake Forest. Sarr calling for it. Johnson shoots instead and misfires.
again, to open look, but your two leading scorers and your two, I think, best offensive options don't get a touch or a look at the basket.
Foul is called on Brandon Childress.
So 1-and-1 coming for Clemson, and this is the problem for the Tigers. Just 1 of 8 from the foul line tonight, 9 of 23 in the loss against NC State. And they will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. He misses it. Trapp now shooting under 40% from the line on the season. A three, no good, does not drop. Would have made it a 1-point game. Danny Manning says foul him, and they do. So Clyde Trapp right back to the line for a 1-and-1.
And definitely a interesting strategy, but certainly you cannot blame Danny Manning the way that Clemson has shot free throws. We just talked about their numbers.
And Clyde Trapp tonight, he's 1 for 4. Which brings his season average to a dismal 36%. Missed it again. A charge. Who needs made foul shots when you got defense?
And that right there, I think, is a result of missing 3 threes. He's got a wide open look. He ran right into the defense. Another, though, heads-up play by Clemson. Again, Muskis, he is wide open from the three-point line, but Curran Scott. Great
timeout
charge.
Taken by Brad Brownell. Offense has been at a premium, but a career high for Hunter Tyson. He has been terrific.
He really has. He's done a little bit of everything right there, showing off great body control. We saw the previous play. And then this right here, he gave them an energy boost with that steal and dunk. And obviously the three-point shooting has been much needed. Defensively solid, but I think offensively, obviously the production was huge in this game.
11 second-half points, and Hunter Tyson is our player of the game, brought to you by Zaxby's. Clemson basketball leading by 4, 44 seconds remaining. They'll have to inbound the ball. They cannot run the baseline because it was a charge, not a made basket. And Clyde Trapp, the inbounder, which is smart because then he doesn't have the basketball and you don't want him at the foul line shooting under 40%. Foul comes in immediately. Curran Scott, the transfer from Tulsa, heads to the foul line for a 1-and-1. He's at 77% on the season. But tonight as a team, Clemson 1 of 10. 10% from the foul line.
At the line to shoot 2.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, and those numbers right there, again, you look at the loss to NC State, and certainly you can look at the free throw numbers. Well, tonight, very fortunate to be on top. But that one right there, obviously a big make for Curran Scott.
Scott with more foul shots made on that trip to the line than Clemson had all night. 6-point deficit for the Demon Deacons. Childress. Kick out 3. It's good. And the deficit cut in half. Andrian White drills the 3. And just like that, with 34 seconds left, it's a one-possession game again.
Yeah, and that's why the Curran Scott free throws were so huge. Excellent patience by Wake Forest. Again, not hesitating, panicking, getting a nice a good look from the three-point line, and then now they get a chance to get the timeout and set up their D. I would imagine, though, they might try to get a steal. They might not even try to do that. They might just immediately foul. Typically, teams in this situation, they try to go for a steal and then foul, but based on the free throw shooting numbers and also previous strategy, I think they may just foul right away.
Each team with one timeout remaining. We remind you of these ACC standings. It is so wide open. When you take a look at 4 through 14, a couple of wins here, and you jump up from the bottom to the middle, nearing upper half.
Yeah, huge game. I mean, it's a huge game for both, obviously both teams. And, you know, if you're Wake, you're trying to continue to build off your momentum. And then for Clemson, it's going to come down to free throws. Taking care of the ball, but then they're going to have to make free throws to close out this game. It's as simple as that.
First have to successfully inbound the ball. And Clyde Trapp again, the inbounder. Right back to Curran. Scott, double team comes. Passes out of it. It's loose, and Wake Forest has it. And Danny Manning burns his final timeout to talk this possession over. What a stop that was to get the ball back and give yourself a chance to tie this game with a 3.
Yeah, and smart timeout by Danny Manning. He saw there was confusion on that offensive set right there off of the steal. Use your timeout. Obviously, you want to get a good look, but this is all set up by excellent full court pressure to come up with the steal. And they decided not to foul right away. They went for the trap. It worked. Get the steal. Now you get a chance to set up an offensive play out of a timeout.
So 22 seconds left for Danny Manning's team. You're now out of timeouts. 2 or 3 here.
It's the old cliche thing. You don't obviously need a 3, but the way that Clemson has been defending them, they've been getting open looks. So if it comes off of a flare screen, a dribble drive, kick out, obviously you want to do that. But you have to get into your offense quick. A quick 2, set up your D again. You have time to go for another steal. If not, you must foul right away.
Clemson gave Wake Forest this opportunity. All they need to do was inbound the ball and get fouled. A costly turnover as they head back to D up with 22.7 seconds remaining in this one.
Well, I would imagine you are going to run some type of ball screen with Childress. Let him go to work, either try to get into the paint, get a quick deuce, or kick it out for a 3.
Here we go. Knocked out of bounds, now 18.1 seconds remaining. Clemson still with 1 timeout. The officials are going to take a look to see who this ball bounced off of. It was ruled off Clemson, Wake Forest ball. And this gives Danny Manning a free timeout. He has 0 timeouts. Now he's able to get the clipboard out again and draw up a play while the officials take a look.
Oh, yeah, definitely hit the ball.
Yep.
So Newman clearly hit the ball in that situation. You can see the change of direction of the ball.
Yeah, this is Deacons basketball, no doubt about it.
And now I think the question is how much time is there going to be additional time added?
Malcolm getting the call right here.
So the review was exactly what we talked about for timing. So they're going to put some ticks back on there. So instead of 18.1, they felt it should go back up to 18.5. Obviously, every and all the time matters in this situation. So Wake's still going to have another shot to either tie this game or get within one.
Into Childress again, the senior leading scorer. Passing off, Masood for the tie. No good. Childress grabs the rebound, but a foul called first. Clemson bailed out for a foul. Danny Manning say, go to the monitor, go to the monitor. But as it stands, the call on the floor was a foul against Wake Forest, and Clemson would be shooting 2 on the other end.
Well, it was a clean look by Masood. He had a really nice look off of a little, it looked like a flare action. Yeah, he's wide open right there. And then on the rebound, looks like they're going to get Childress with the push off. But again,
so again, not reviewing the foul, you can't do that, but reviewing the time, and there should be 11.4 seconds left when the foul was committed by Childress.
Yeah, you clearly can see some ticks ran off right there.
2 seconds ran off.
Yeah, and that's huge in this game. So certainly, again, it's going to come down to Clemson making some free throws, and that's going to determine, obviously, what Wake does. But, you know, back to the previous play, if you're Wake, again, you've had multiple looks on even previous possessions where you had some pretty clean looks from 3, just unable to get them to go.
And it's Clyde Trapp who steps to the line, just 1 of 5 from the foul line tonight, shooting under 40% from the season. The weight of this game on his shoulders. Gets 1 more to try and make this a 2-possession basketball game. One of 6 from the foul line now. But that one rolls in. And Clemson burns their final timeout. The Clemson fans will forgive Trapp all the misses if they could just hold on to this game in a 4-point lead now.
Yeah, and that's huge. Obviously, that gives them the 4-point lead. So now, obviously, you do not want to foul any 3-point shooters if you're Clemson. 11.4 seconds left for Wake Forest. You still do not necessarily need a 3 in this situation, but obviously you have to race the ball up the court and get a shot, whether it's a quick 2 or a 3 off quick. But obviously Clemson right now is breathing a little easier after that trap make.
11.4 seconds away from what would be their 4th ACC win in 5 games. You look at the upcoming schedule. It's a gauntlet, as it always is when it comes to ACC play. At Louisville, then Syracuse, and then in Winston-Salem to face the same Wake Forest team. I'm with you, Huck. I would not be against the quick 2 here. Again, the way Clemson's been shooting foul shots, just get 2 points and just extend the game, have more possessions.
Yeah, and obviously, though, I think Clemson is going to show some type of 3-quarter court pressure or pick up man. Certainly, though, in this situation, you cannot foul any shooters.
Seconds to work with. Deeks down 4 into Childress. Foul on the floor. 1-and-1 coming for the senior.
That's his 3rd. 9th team foul. Amir Sims in for the Tigers. Odiaguama back in for Wake Forest.
So a little defense for offense substitution. Get Sarr out of the game. And clearly, make or miss, they're going to have to foul.
7.3 seconds. Still too much time to consider missing this shot, right? You just want to knock it down.
No, absolutely. You want Childress to make this right here. Set up your D. Again, you're trying to get a steal. If you don't, though, obviously you have to foul immediately.
He missed it. And a rebound hauled down by Amir Sims. 6.1 seconds remaining, and Sims goes to the line for two. 74% on the season for the junior leading scorer.
Amir Sims at the line to shoot two.
I think we can go back to around the 14-minute mark, 13-minute mark when Olivier Sarr went out with his third foul. And that's when Amir Sims took over that game. 5 quick points.
A huge free throw there to make it a 2-possession game. He has one more coming. And since Sarr came out of the game with 3 fouls, Malcolm, he did not score for the remainder of that game. More than 15 minutes without any points after having 16 in the first 25 minutes of this game. Nothing but the bottom of the net, and a huge ovation for Amir Sims, who checks out of this game.
And I think that will seal the game right there. 2 huge free throws for Sims and Clemson.
Wake Forest knows they have to work quickly. Childress pulls up for 3. It's good. 1 second left, and it's a 2-point game. Wake Forest not going away. Newman chucks it. A foul called with 0.8 seconds remaining, and it'll send Hunter Tyson to the line. Meanwhile, Brandon Childress fouls out now. That was his 5th.
Well, the big 3 right here. Again, Clemson smart, does not foul. And then I like to play by Newman. Just throw the ball down the other end. 1 second. Even if Wake does come up with a steal in that situation, it would be a prayer and a desperation shot from beyond half court.
Obviously, you're in the moment, so you're just thinking about catching the ball. But with a moment of reflection as the officials take a look at the monitor to worry about time, you could just tap that ball away and let the 1 second expire.
Yeah, no, but you want to grab that thing. That's just a natural instinct.
Of course.
You want to grab it, come down, and then get to the free throw line. Again, even if he doesn't come down with that, it's certainly, you're talking about a desperation shot beyond half.
Hunter Tyson shooting 65% from the foul line this season. He's tied with a career-high 20 points. An opportunity to pass that with a made free throw here. It's good. So a career high for Hunter Tyson and an opportunity to seal the game. Missed it. A heave from Sarr. Didn't get it away, and Clemson survives.